Okay, so we are on live. Okay, so in the past, I've not been able to do this successfully, so I just really wanted to make sure we were live. So here we are. So welcome everyone, good morning. I'm really excited about this morning's call on allergies and immunity because coincidentally, I had terrible allergies this weekend. I went to San Francisco and it was gorgeous, but it was super windy. And I think I sneezed probably 50 times. So this year has been really hard on me with allergies, and I don't normally have allergies. So I'm interested in what you ladies have to say today. First wanted to introduce you. So Susan, you just recently came on board at Neolife. I know we've done one call with you, but I want to go through your accolades, and I'm actually going to read it because there's so many. When I first read your bio before I met you, I thought, my gosh, this woman must be 90 years old to have accomplished all of this in her lifetime. So you are our International VP of Product Innovation, and you have your PhD in nutritional science, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're licensed in California and nationally as an
acupuncturist, yeah, acupuncturist, oriental medical practitioner.
And oriental medical practitioner.
Yeah.
You've developed over 300 products. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. And, you know, not to mention you have a broad knowledge of nutritional science as it applies to health and wellness and a deep understanding of traditional medicine. So we're very lucky to have you at Neolife. And then Christina has been at Neolife for 5 years. And Susan, I know you came on board once we were already working remotely, but Christina and I sit next to each other in the office. So nice. It was great for me when I came on about 1.5 years ago. I would always kind of peek my head over and say, Christina, what's the difference between this and this? You know, so she's a great resource. So I personally am looking forward to being able to go back into the office because I really miss everyone there. So Christina, you got your degree in psychobiology at UCLA. And then you also said you had a double major, correct?
Yeah, I double minored in applied developmental psychology and neuroscience.
Wow. That's awesome.
Cool.
So you're our technical market manager, and you provide the background consumer research and insights on our product concepts and ingredients. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the background work. And I know you're also really involved in our product launch strategy, which is really helpful for me. So anyway, really excited to be meeting with you ladies. For this first live call, I'm actually going to stay on the line just to make sure everything goes smoothly. And then next month, we'll have our Inside the SAB call. And then in 2 months, we'll be back with you live. And then I'll let you ladies take it from there. But today I'm going to stay online with you, though I won't be contributing beyond this. So anyway, I will let you take it away. Susan, are you going to start?
Yeah, I think it's really nice actually to be here. It's actually a beautiful spring day out here in California. So I think it's actually a really good time to talk about seasonal allergies. In fact, my 9-year-old son was just telling me that some of his classmates missed school last week because of their allergies.
Yes, it's definitely a beautiful morning. You know, it's sunny and I can see trees in bloom from my window, but I personally am having a hard time enjoying the spring, like your son's unfortunate classmate. I have seasonal allergies and that just makes my sinuses drip and like itch, and you know, it's just driving me crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people have hay fever, or also known as allergic rhinitis, this time of year, which means itchy noses and watery eyes and lots of sneezing. 60 million people worldwide are faced with allergic rhinitis. It's the 6th leading cause of chronic illness in the US. In fact, it affects so many people that I think we tend to underestimate the effect it has on people's quality of life.
Yeah, you know, it's just, you just kind of get used to it after a while, and you just kind of get used to being a little uncomfortable. But, you know, why is this happening to me? What causes seasonal allergies, Susan?
Well, you know, pollen from trees, grass, mold spores from tiny fungi. So these little particles, they get into our nasal passages and our mouth and our eyes. They're harmless. But for some people, and unfortunately, I guess you're one of those people, Christina, the body thinks these particles are actually harmful. So the body goes into full combat mode and it attacks pollen in the same way it attacks infectious bacteria. And when our immune system is on full alert, it then activates a variety of inflammatory chemicals like histamine. And then this inflammatory response leads to all sorts of uncomfortable symptoms that people experience.
It's interesting to think of allergies as an immune system reaction. Can you explain a little more, like what exactly are IgE antibodies?
IgE antibodies actually have a very important role to play in our body. They protect our body from bacteria and viruses. They act sort of like gatekeepers, and that they identify foreign material early on. This comes in handy for actual threats to our immune system, but in the case of seasonal allergies, our bodies are just overreacting.
I guess they're just being too sensitive, but I guess better safe than sorry, but maybe not in this case. So, okay, I have to ask you. So I get, runny noses and sneezes while my boyfriend sits at a desk across from me, breathing the same exact air. And honestly, he's just fine most of the time. So why do some people like me get allergies, but, others are luckier and escape unscathed?
I know it doesn't really feel fair, does it? Yeah, there's a lot of theories as to why some people have allergies and others don't. There seems to be a genetic component because people in the same family tend to get allergies. It's caused by an error in a gene that helps regulate the immune system. But interestingly enough, the environment we grow up in also plays a large role. So for example, if babies are exposed to allergens early on, they're much less likely to develop not only seasonal allergies, but also environmental allergies, asthma, and even food allergies.
That's really interesting. I'm sure, parents would want to do whatever possible to help prevent their babies from developing allergies. So what can they do?
Well, exposure to dirt actually, ironically, is very important because it allows kids to develop a healthy microbiome. It's called the farm effect. Kids who grow up on or near farms are less prone to all kinds of allergies than kids that grow up in the city. Also, if children have dogs starting when they're infants, they're much less likely to have allergies. If children have cats, they're less likely to be allergic to cats, but for some reason, early exposure to dogs creates like a little mini farm effect and helps reduce the risk of being allergic to a wide variety of things.
Like we need another excuse to have dogs. They're already great for everything
It's
else.
a very dog-friendly company, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, the farm effect. I'll have to keep that in mind. That's a good excuse for me to not have a perfectly clean house in the future. I'll say it's better for my kids for my house to be a little bit dirty.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so that's all really good and handy for, babies and kids, but I feel like I kind of missed the boat on that already. So I already have seasonal allergies. So what can adults like me do for that? I know that there are antihistamines and like over-the-counter medications, but I try not to take those too often because if you take antihistamines regularly, it gets less effective over time.
Yeah. There are definitely some natural strategies that can help alleviate the symptoms of allergies. One common and very simple treatment that has been shown in scientific studies to be effective is the use of saline sinus sprays or saline-based nose rinses. You just have to make sure that you use distilled water because tap water and spring water contain low levels of organisms that you don't want to just be putting in your nose. But in general, saline sprays and rinses are very safe and very easy to use and can really help.
Okay, that's good to know. And we'll definitely make sure to use distilled water only if I decide to try that. And I also like to use distilled water in my humidifier, which I think kind of helps with my allergies indoors. And also I have like a HEPA air filters in various rooms in my home. And that seems to help me with my allergies when I'm indoors.
A humidifier is a great idea. Also, wearing a mask outdoors actually helps quite a bit, especially an N95 mask, which blocks out 95% of small particles. I know it's harder to get N95 masks during COVID, but any mask will help. Obviously, you can't protect your eyes this way, but it helps to reduce the amount of irritants that enter your nose and your mouth.
Well, it may be hard to get the mask, but at least no one's going to give you a weird look for wearing them around outside nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've also noticed that my symptoms tend to be less severe when I drink more water. And then sometimes I even use like steam, just, a bit of steam in a pot with like a towel over my head or even like a hot shower. And that seems to help clear my sinuses.
Yeah, drinking water is a good strategy because drinking more water thins out the mucus in your nasal passages. And I don't know if you've tried this or not, Christina, but you might want to consider adding essential oils to the steamy water because then that makes the treatment even more effective. I would include like essential oils like lavender or eucalyptus or rosemary or that kind of thing.
Okay, I haven't tried that, but I'll have to keep that in mind. And I guess, an added bonus is that you'll smell really good afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Your
use
bathroom will too, or
eucalyptus in
wherever
my
it is that you're
shower.
doing the steam treatment. Yeah.
I use it in my shower every morning. It makes your house smell amazing too.
Yeah.
It's probably really refreshing. Okay, so what about our diets? Can that help? Are there any foods that might be natural antihistamines?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, there are foods that act as natural antihistamines. For example, the flavonoid quercetin helps reduce the histamine release in the body. So eating foods high in quercetin is very helpful, like apples or berries or red grapes or red onions, or even drinking black tea would help. Also, eating foods high in carotenoids, any orange, red, and green fruits and vegetables will have an antihistamine effect because they contain carotenoids like beta carotene and lutein and lycopene. In fact, studies have shown that people who eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and nuts have fewer allergy symptoms.
Just another benefit to a healthy diet, as if we needed another reason to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. But what about eating local honey? I've seen things here and there that says that can help, but is there any evidence behind that?
There's conflicting evidence as to whether or not eating local honey will do anything. Some studies say no, but others have found a positive effect, especially if you use larger amounts. Like one study in Malaysia found consuming 2 to 3 ounces of local honey a day helped improve allergy symptoms. So local honey often contains flavonoids and polyphenols like quercetin or camphorol. So it's not going to hurt to include local honey in your diet and give it a try. But as you know, it's important not to give honey to babies under a year old because their undeveloped digestive systems can't filter out the naturally occurring bacteria in honey. But the bottom line is that local honey is worth a try.
Okay, I like to sprinkle a little bit of honey on top of my yogurt sometimes, but I've never specifically looked for local honey, but I'll give anything a shot. I'll have to look for that at like a farmer's market next time.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be better for you. It'll have more nutrients in it.
So I've read that exercise can also help with sinuses, but it's really hard to exercise when you're all stuffed up. So it's hard to exercise outdoors with allergies. And right now at the moment, I don't feel comfortable going back to gyms yet.
Yeah, I hear you. It's definitely harder to exercise outdoors with seasonal allergies. And I'm not going to go to the gym anytime soon either. But any kind of exercise will reduce allergy symptoms because it helps reduce the body's reaction to allergens. So exercising indoors is an option, or being in water like swimming is good. But if people do exercise outdoors, like going for a walk or a run, then showering as soon as you get home to wash off the tiny allergenic particles helps a lot. But either way, exercise calms a hyperactive immune system. So no matter what type of exercise or where you do it, it's going to help.
It's good to know. And so is there anything else that you've come across that can help with allergies?
Acupuncture. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an acupuncturist. There's some good research that shows acupuncture helps alleviate seasonal allergy symptoms. Studies have shown that acupuncture treatments improve the quality of life for people who have allergies. And in fact, acupuncture showed people that allowed people to reduce their antihistamine use after just 8 weeks of treatment. So it actually works fairly quickly.
Yeah, I've never tried acupuncture before, but it's like the more I read about it, the more interesting it gets to me. Okay, so we might not be able to completely avoid seasonal allergies, but I think we've gone over, number of ways to try and reduce the symptoms, like using saline sinus sprays, high carotenoid diets, acupuncture, and exercise. But now let's get to the question that, distributors are always asking. What products does Neolife help that can help me and others like me with their allergy symptoms?
Yeah, Neolife has some great products that can help with seasonal allergies, and 5 of them in particular I really like. We have 2 herbal formulas, the Resp-X for upper respiratory tract health and herbal respiratory formula for lower respiratory tract health. Both of these formulas include herbs from around the world that contain important phytonutrients, which promote clear open airways and healthy lungs and sinuses and mucous membranes. Also, Pro Vitality is great to have in your arsenal because it contains carotenoids and essential fatty acids, both of which can help with a healthy inflammation response. Vegan D is also critical to add to your supplement routine because vitamin D deficiencies are linked to an increased likelihood of having seasonal allergies. Plus, there are studies that show that taking a vitamin D supplement helps with seasonal allergies by supporting a healthy immune response. So the bottom line, vitamin D is a really good thing to add to your daily protocol. There's actually one study in particular that showed that vitamin D helped with quality of life in people with seasonal allergies in about a month. It took about 30 days. And then lastly, probiotics like lactobacillus have been found in several studies to help with seasonal allergies by creating a healthy microbiome. So taking our Acidophilus Plus along with eating foods with probiotics like kefir and yogurt and sauerkraut and kimchi and delicious stuff like that can be beneficial. I know seasonal allergies are challenging, but oftentimes combining different natural approaches will help significantly.
It's good to hear that there are options out there. I know, a lot of us, our minds jump straight to Respex and herbal respiratory formula, but I wouldn't have thought of Pro Vitality, Vegan D, and Acidophilus Plus, as dealing with allergies. So thanks for pointing that out. It's good to hear. So hopefully by combining the power of Neolife products plus some of the techniques we talked about earlier, I can, help manage my allergy symptoms better so that I can get out there and enjoy the beautiful day without bringing my tissues with me and worrying that people think, I'm sick or something.
Yeah,
so,
and hopefully pollen season will be behind us pretty soon too.
Yes, spring does not last forever, thankfully.
Exactly.
But thanks for sharing all that with us today, Susan. It's really good to know.
It's been really fun to be here.
I have a quick question. I don't know if you ladies can answer, if people can put in the comments. Just because my allergies did get so kicked up this weekend, I feel like this whole part of my head has cement behind my eye and my sinuses. So I'm actually going to go into the office. I meant to go yesterday and didn't have time, but I'm going to go into the office to get the products that you mentioned. And I'm wondering if you have to take them for a little while before they kick in, or if it's pretty immediate. So, because I have an arsenal of Neolife products, obviously, that I take every day. Pro Vitality is one of them, but with the other specific products, I'm just wondering if it kicks in right away or if you have to take them for a little while. So I don't know if anyone's taken them and maybe can put in the comments. That would be helpful, I think, to a lot of people that are suffering from allergies right now.
Yeah, and I think, obviously everybody has their own individual reaction, but I think, that it's really good to just start them as soon as possible. It's actually really good to start them even before allergy season hits. But, the herbs should work, I think pretty quickly. And then the sooner you sort of get your vitamin D levels up, that'll help too. That study showed a result in 30 days, which I know sounds like a long time to wait, but people actually started to feel the effects even sooner than that. Because if you have healthy vitamin D levels, then it's going to help reduce the allergy symptoms.
Vitamin D does everything. I'm learning.
It does, right? You just
it's like
it every day.
Everybody should be taking vitamin D no matter what. So, okay, ladies. Well, thank you so much. And like I said earlier in the intro, next month, we're going to have the Inside the SAB call, and then we'll be back with you ladies in 2 months. So I really appreciate you coming on live with me and sharing all this information. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, everybody have a great day. And we'll look forward to seeing you in a couple months.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.